Hey everybody, this is Daryl, aka Buddy, and it's time for disc golf chat with my good friend Derek over here.
What's going on?
Today we've got a few topics. It may not go a full hour today because we don't have really a lot going on.
That's fine. We'll just do what we got to do.
We can fill the time. We're good at that. At least I am. I can talk it to a brick wall for half an hour. They get really bored with it, but hey, it's what it is.
Hey, it worked.
First off, did you get to play any this week?
No, I haven't played since last Friday. I didn't get to play any at all this week. Of course, the weather was crap too, and I was working, so no, I didn't get out there this week.
Yeah, the one day you had a chance, and it was pouring down rain all day.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
And I got out there a few times. Had a couple good rounds, a couple bad rounds, but a round is a round. So,
right.
Let's see. Oh, first off, have you gotten any disc recently?
I think it was the last week before last. I got the Truth, and then I got the Sheriff, the pro mid range and putter. Is what I've got, and they're throwing pretty good. You were with me when I threw that. Who is it? Is that Prodigy?
It sounds like Prodigy. I first thought it was Discmania, but I'm pretty sure it's not Discmania.
I think it's Prodigy. I'm not 100%. I'd have to go look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have so many brands, so I mean, it's just I'm not brand specific.
Which that will go into our topic later.
Right.
That is a future segue.
Yeah.
I picked up a fumble. I picked up a Roadrunner. I've been here and there pretty good, so I was like, let's give it a shot. Thrown it a few times. I gotta get that strength down. And I told you when we played that day, I was like, it's not quite ready for the course yet.
Oh, is that it? That's right. I made a comment that you got to cook them first. That's what it was.
Yeah, we got to cook them first. The other I did find the Paige Pierce Passion.
Okay.
This is the proto distance. I've thrown this a few times. I actually threw it a couple of times actually playing today. It's just going to take a little while to kind of get that nice straight and then just a slight fade, because right now it's banking on me pretty good, and it banked directly into a tree at one point.
That's usually how our game goes.
On hole 5 with that Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it caught that pretty solid. But all in all, pretty impressed with it so far. I feel like eventually that's going to work into the game real well.
Well, let's hope so.
Oh, I dropped my pen. Now what am I going to do? All right, starting off. The topic of tonight is sponsorship. And what I was really thinking about, I think sponsorship is definitely great for the sport. It's great for the players. But I feel like, in my opinion, it's more for off the course things that I think sponsorship is best. I feel like on the course, it kind of limits the players in their options of what they can use. So, and the question I have is, do you think on the course from tee box to pin, is it better to be sponsored and have to use one brand of disc, or would it be better to not be sponsored and just use whatever disc you want?
I think that could be split two different ways. I mean, as far as sponsorship goes, tee to basket, that's where the sponsor benefits.
Right.
Off the course is where the players, I feel like, benefit more so than being tee to basket. It would be hard to say. It would be hard to choose one specific company and one specific type of plastic and mold and using just their product for me, because I have so many different brands, and they to me they throw differently. But
Yep.
I've got several different brands that make up my game that allow me to play even rounds or a little less or a little more depending on my day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make
Yep.
sense? So would it be a hindrance to the player to play just one particular brand? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure that when we go out and buy discs that we're getting the same grade disc that they get from their sponsors.
Well, I will say this. I did see a video of Paul Macbeth when he went to Discraft. And he was going through the box and he was feeling the disc. He's like, yeah, no, not that one. He says, oh, yeah, that one. Okay. And so I'm thinking they must know something about a disc just by touching it, whether this disc is going to work for them or not. It blows my mind.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, if you have one company you're dealing with and they're producing a product, it has to go through some form of a QC channel to where it's quality checked.
Yeah.
I know being in manufacturing all of my life, whenever we sent products out to potential customers or sponsors or whatever, those particular products were sent out at the max quality control, 100%, no defects, no nothing. It was maxed out, the best you could do. But can a manufacturing standpoint hold that grade? Depending on what it is, I would have to say no. I've been in extruding plastic and vinyl and different things throughout my life. And yeah, we have a standard that's plus or minus 10 or plus or minus, depending on what it is. As long as you're within that threshold, you're within QC standard. But when we send product out, we send out samples for potential people, potential customers. I mean, it's specifically 100% maxed out. But you can't hold a manufacturing facility to that grade.
Right.
Not in my experience. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not 100% sure that, Paul Macbeth's Hades is the same Hades that I bought. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So at that point, it might be beneficial for them to have one specific person or one specific company that they know they're getting max product. And it's tailored to them. It's tailored to their specs through their QC system. And it might benefit them that way. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not at that level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen him and I've seen other players as well. They will throw some disc and you can see a difference in some disc. And I've heard them say, oh yeah, this one's going in the bag. This one's not.
Right. And it could be the same disc.
So yeah, I mean, it is the same type disc. I mean, let's say like I haven't heard anything bad about these, but let's say like the Passion. One person might throw it, great throw. Second throw, everything feels smooth, still feels the same. Get a little different one from a different disc. So I mean, and I totally agree. Can they make it 100% identical every time? I'd say no.
No, it's not possible. From a manufacturing standpoint, it's not possible, especially when you're doing injection molding or extruding of plastic. It's no way.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it feels like to me, when you can open the door and pick a disc from Innova, pick one from Prodigy, pick one from Discmania, pick one from Discraft, pick one from Latitude 64. I'm sure I'm missing some brands, and if I do, I apologize, manufacturers. That I feel like that could only help your game on the course.
I would think so. I mean, I've seen it help us as far as not being brand specific. But like I said, just coming from a manufacturing standpoint, I mean, it's possible that these things are tweaked specifically for those players that they sponsor. And they may have some kind of large input on it, on what they're receiving or what's being made for them. And so that might be the key to them going brand specific, one thing.
Hey, my good friend Captain stopped by to visit with us. Hey, Cap, how's it going?
What's happening?
And I don't know. To me, I just feel like strictly on the course, I feel like it would be better to be able to pick from different manufacturers. But I feel like off the course, that's where the players, I don't know what all they get off the course. I'm sure they get bonuses for competition. I don't know, like your average player, not in the top 30 week in and week out. I'm sure they don't get guaranteed money.
Right.
But I'm sure what they get is more the discs and things along those lines. But I remember hearing somebody say that one of the best things that they got when they were signed was they got an allotment of disc, and then they got compensation based on how they perform.
Right, and it was that way in the fishing world when I was sponsored fishing and I was doing kayak tournaments, which I did forever. When I was big into the kayak world and fishing, my sponsorship, I mean, they would most of the time they would pay my entry fees into tournaments, and they would, of course, they would send me fishing rods and reels and lines and baits and boats and all that stuff. I had more kayaks than I could shake a stick at, and I ended up giving some of them away. And so I always had product. I never went without any kind of product, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point to where I had so many different brands and so many different styles of the same thing that it was hard to narrow down what I was going to use or not use, if that makes sense. Yeah. You can't wear 25 hats at one time. So I would go to tournaments and I'd wear this shirt at this tournament, this hat at this tournament, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So I mean, it actually got to be a hassle having more than one company, to be honest with you.
I mean, you end up like NASCAR.
Oh yeah, I mean, my kayak didn't hold but so many stickers. I promise you that.
Yeah. Like NASCAR, one of the things I remember hearing from NASCAR in the winner's circle, they do what they call the hat dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody, all their sponsors, they get a hat, they put the hat on, take a picture.
Yeah.
Off next hat. Take a picture.
Hold up a different bottle of drink or a candy bar or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
So, right. I mean, I hope that it doesn't hinder the players on the course. I mean, I also think those players are at a level that I'm going to say it, we're not going to ever get at.
Right.
So I feel like they can adapt to disc better than we can, I would say.
And I think if the truth was to be told, I still think they have an input on what they're receiving. And I think, like I said, I think things are being held to a higher standard for them than they are, say, just for the shelf, for the box, the box stores. And rightfully so, and it should be, because they're the ones they're the ones who's bringing in the money. That's their advertising marketing campaign.
Yep.
It's that person, them traveling, them winning, them playing, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's some adaptation to them. I'm sure they didn't all start out with, say, just Innova or just Latitude 64 or just Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. They probably did like we did. They, I guess they probably went to Play It Again or Dick's or somewhere like that and just bought a ton of it and fell in love with it and then started getting better and researching and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they didn't start out that way. None of them. I don't believe any of them started out with just one specific brand and they're still with that brand.
Well, one person I think may have, and that's Kyle Klein. And the reason I say that, was that?
I think I've got some of his.
I mean, I know he's really young, but he absolutely looks at Eagle McMahon like he is, like he's walking on the moon over there. And I was watching the MVP tournament from last year, and he was in the final round. And when I first saw him, I thought it was Eagle. He had the glasses on, looked just like him, had the flat hat. And I first thought it was Eagle. And I was like, oh, wait, no, that's Kyle. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I think he's one of those guys. And I think that's kind of stuck with that brand. Oh, I got to mention this. This is great. Disc golf needs to be mixed with skeet shooting. If you
that's not a bad idea. If the disc thing costs $20 a piece or more.
They're sitting there. Oh,
Oh. Yeah, then I could get my dad to play them because he loves skeet shooting.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at the top tier players, you figure that the people that really get into the sport because of certain players, you know that they start out like a lot of the women out there are following Paige, so they're sticking with the discraft stuff that Paige
Yeah.
had. Paul Macbeth, same thing with him. So I think that there is a lot of brand loyalty because of these players. So, and I really think if you grow up on it with just using one brand, I think that would probably be good.
Yeah,
But then,
well, I think it would be beneficial to people, and you're right. I mean,
Mhm.
but that just goes to show you that their sponsorship and their marketing campaign is working.
Yep.
For one,
Mhm.
So sponsorship is important to marketing for any company.
Mhm.
When it's done in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? Now
Mhm.
you go out here and sponsor a 2x4. I mean, there's no need in that. I mean, everybody knows you need it. You know where to go get it. It ain't no big deal. But when you're in the public, your product has to be seen by the public to be appreciated or bought. Then their marketing campaign is great, and that's where the sponsorship comes into play for them. They're getting well on their return of money. I promise you.
That'd be hilarious. This lumber is made out of pine, sponsored by Pine Sol.
Yeah, I mean, it was something stupid like that. But I don't
Hilarious.
know. I don't think I'd like to think that the players are, they're at the level of being professional to where the sponsors are looking at them. I like to think that they took time to make an educated decision.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've been throwing, preferably discraft for the past 5 years, and it's gotten me to this level. Or I had a mixed bag, but my Latitude 64 is performing better than my, Innova, that kind of thing. I would like
Yeah.
to think that they sat down and made an educated decision on who to go with, not just, oh, this one's offering me 100 grand, but this one's offering me 130 grand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they thought of it from a game standpoint and a future standpoint of,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, they're paying me less money right now, but I perform so much better with their product than I do this product.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And
Yeah.
that would fall on
It's the what kind more on the back end, so to speak.
Yeah, it's the future part of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I can't imagine if somebody like Kyle Klein, who followed Eagle, and I'm saying I don't know if he actually did this, so I shouldn't keep using him. But a person that follows a player and just buys the product because of that player, gets used to using it, makes it up the ladder to where they get on the pro tour, and then that sponsor is like, yeah, we're gonna pass.
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure not all of them are sponsored. There's quite a few of them that still pay their own way and they do their own thing. They just have a love for the game and a drive to get to the top.
Yeah.
It's just ambition and sportsmanship. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It would be a hard decision. It would be hard to say whether it hurts them or benefits them on or off tee to the basket.
Now I need to find some pros and ask them. I guess maybe that.
Well, maybe we should get one an interview.
Yeah. You got any with you?
Not tonight. No, I sent them all home.
I don't either. Well,
Send them all home. Yeah, we'll get with them later.
I will. I'm going to send out some invites to some of the pro players. Maybe some of them will be like, "Yeah, I enjoyed your little podcast."
Yeah, I mean, even if they just answer some questions, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, now, if you could pick one company to sponsor you, who would it be?
I would have to say, I don't know who I'd say, to be honest with you, because I love my Hades, but I love my Truth, and I like my Latitude 64. It would be hard to say to have an all around bag of one particular company.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at this level, it would be hard to say.
I think I throw a lot of Innova And I feel like the grip on those for me, they feel better. Like that one day we went and played and it started raining a little.
Yeah.
Some of the disc from Discraft got really slick. I just couldn't hold them when I was throwing, and I couldn't get them dry.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't dry off, right?
And so for me, it's like as much as I like Discraft, I like a lot of the players from Discraft, sponsored by Discraft. But I think right now it's like I would have to go with Innova because I feel like even if it's moist out, if I'm sweating in my hand, I do feel like I'm getting better grip on those.
Right.
So for me, if I had to pick, that's the direction I would go right now. Me with my 170-foot drives. Innova, I'm talking to you. So yeah.
And I remember that day too. And I had some of them that would dry off, and some of them that wouldn't. I wouldn't say they wouldn't dry off, but they felt different when they got wet.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to dry them off, it was almost like, and it could have been the towel we were using.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just pushing the water and not actually absorbing the water. So it could have been an issue there too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of variables to take in place, but I don't know. I love my Hades though. I'm slinging the fire out of that thing. I mean, driving the green basket on 17 uphill. What?
That's exactly what I was about to say. You just throw the crap out of that.
Because that thing plays. That holds what, 260, 270.
I would say it's probably 260, but it's probably plays 300 or maybe a little more.
Right.
That flight uphill. Let's see what the actual official. I can actually look this up right now to see what the official distance on 17 is. Wow. On the short, it says 230, but it plays every bit of 275, 300.
Oh, dude, that hole is crazy long. And then you start off at the bottom of below the grade line too. So it's like automatically you have to top a knoll. Then it just keeps going up after that.
Yeah, it's like after that first, I'm gonna say almost like 15 feet up or so. Then it just has like a slow increase the rest of the way.
Right, it's a slow grade.
So I've only partied once. I almost partied again today with a lucky almost roller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, but. So you're going Discraft. I feel it. I feel you're going Discraft.
Yeah, I think so. That would probably be the way I would lean right now.
What kind of putter do you use?
I got the Sheriff is what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Truth for mid-range, which I don't throw very much. You were with me the other day when I threw it the first time on that. I forgot what hole it is with all the trees and roots.
Mm-hmm. 11.
But that was the first time I'd ever thrown that. But I mean, I liked it. It flew straight. I mean, it was dead on, and it didn't hit anything. And I loved it. I love the way it feels. I like that plastic because it's not as slick as some of the rest of them.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my Fierce.
Right.
I feel like that putter is, even though it got wet, it didn't stay wet that day. But the other disc, they stay pretty wet.
Right.
So I do like that Fierce. I don't think I've ever thrown an Innova putter.
So I've got all kinds of putters. I might actually have an Innova putter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I did, because I used to have a Rhino. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 13, 14 years ago when I played for like one summer, and that was it.
Yeah. I had some Latitude 64 putters, and I really liked them. I had a Warlock one time, and I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good putter.
Nice.
Then I had my hand-eye putter that I putted for a long time until I lost the darn thing.
You let me use it one time, and it had that thumb grip.
Yeah, it had that thumb grip on the top plate, yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my Prodigy PA4, that feels so good for me, It's got a nice straight throw when I'm putting. I don't know what I'll do if that thing kind of goes away.
Yeah, it kind of breaks your heart when you lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked for that one for a half hour one day, and there's no reason why it should have been gone, but I guess it just maybe it
Yeah.
disintegrated. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The next topic, because you're now Team Discraft, I'm Team Innova,
Okay. DC.
is Paul Macbeth put out a video this past week, and I meant to put a link down below, and I apologize. I will put that link after the podcast down below so you guys can check it out. His video was on like sticky substances. That's hard to say, substances. And because he was apparently watching baseball and he was seeing how some of the substances are now banned by pitchers that they can't use because it gives them too many RPMs and it makes the break on the pitches break a lot more. It gives them,
right.
And when they're throwing, when they release it, it gives them more backspin, so it doesn't drop quite as much. So it gives the pitchers a huge advantage. So he tested out using things, and it was more than just these three. There was rosin, Pelican grip, Spider Tech, and there was something else he used too.
It was a tiger stick. Was it called tiger stick? But he said he actually used on his bats.
Yeah, it was pine tar. It was pine tar.
Then he used an actual surf wax.
Yeah, I was about to say the surf wax too. Yeah, so I think that's everything he used, and he said, like as far as pure distance, not a huge increase on some of them, but the biggest thing was they weren't, because it was a hot day the day he was doing. You could see his shirt was drenched.
Oh, he was soaking wet, yeah.
But he said he wasn't losing grip on them. It was Spider Tag. It was like sticking too well.
Yeah. But he was they were only gaining like what 25, 30. I'll say 25 to 35 more feet per throw, per drive, or whatever. Which I mean, that's huge in the grand scheme of things. In some instances, it would probably hurt you. But they made the biggest comment about the sound and the sound it made when it came off the hand. It was almost like a snap, which, you look for that snap when you're throwing hard anyway. Mm-hmm. It's that snap of the wrist and where it snaps off the fingers. So obviously it helps the grip and it helps the spin. And if you notice the flight pattern changed a little bit, they did get a little bit flatter. But they weren't gaining so much distance as I would say. They were probably gaining more technical abilities as far as maneuverability of the disc and the flight of the actual disc itself.
Mm-hmm. The one that it was him and Nick Carl. Right. And the one that in particular that they both really said really helps them was the Pelican. What's it called? Pelican grip. That's what it was called.
And that was the real sticky stuff, wasn't it? Wasn't that the stickiest?
No, the stickiest was the spider.
Spider, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he opened that stuff up, and I was like, "Oh,
it looked like
you don't want that stuff." Holy cow! Right. Yeah, I mean, Paul said he had it in his van for like a week, and he's like, he was afraid to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pelican, I saw it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it seemed like good stuff. I mean, I don't know.
He said the rosin didn't really help much, but I think the biggest thing with rosin, for me, when I use it, it feels like it's more, it just kind of dries my hand.
It makes it slicker is what they were saying. And I've noticed that too, like using your bag or whatever every so often, it more or less takes the moisture out of your skin, which I don't know rosin, if it's some kind of talcum powder or what it is. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. But I've used your bag before, just handling it a couple of times and then throwing it. It's almost like it makes it slicker, if that makes any sense. It's probably, and I might be wrong, but that's the way it felt to me.
I mean, for me, it feels like it dries my hand because I sweat an absolute ton. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can like dry my hand with a towel, put the towel down on the teapot. I'm like, I'm already sweating again. So, but it feels like for me, it kind of keeps that moisture out for a few seconds while I can throw the disc. I can line it up, everything, then throw, and I feel like the disc is not going to slip out.
Right.
So for me, I feel like that works really, really well. And I don't know, is that what is in? I assume you watch some of the coverage where they talk about the whale tails.
Yeah, the whale tails. I don't know
And
if that's what's in there or not.
so I that's what I wonder. I wonder if it's just like a rosin bag that's differently shaped. I wonder.
Well, here's the question for you though: is do you think it should be allowed to be used?
I do not. I was surprised it was used, and then after I thought about it, I was not surprised that it's not banned. Because I mean, baseball, they basically say the pitcher can put a little rosin on, but they can't be actually physically on the pitcher's mound, and they have to kind of wipe it off a little bit. And but they've been putting like sticky substances up in their hat for decades. It's
Right,
technically been banned, and they basically have let it go if it wasn't completely obvious.
right.
Like there was a pitcher one day. I mean, you could see this big gob on his neck, and you just see him just kind of doing this before it gets ready to pitch, kind of rub up the ball a little bit, and they're just like, "We can't let you do that, man."
Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, yeah.
So I think rosin should be okay, and then after that, I actually do feel like it's an advantage because if you're sweating and you got something that can help you stick onto the disc, I feel like that's an advantage.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to look at it like this too, though. I mean, he's not throwing that frisbee to somebody to catch. He's not throwing that disc to somebody to hit. It's just him and that disc. So every player has the capability of doing the same thing and using the same product. It's not like, say the pitcher uses it, but the shortstop can't. Well, first of all, why would he? You know what I'm saying? Other than trying to throw out a player. So is it beneficial to all the other players? No, not really. Is it beneficial to the whole team? Sure, it is. More strikeouts, less runs, so on and so on. But as far as the disc goes, I think at this point it's just you, the disc, and the course. That's it. So it's really not affecting anybody else but yourself.
Well, to me, that would be like a few years ago when steroids became very prevalent. Prevalent. Well, I can't speak tonight. In baseball,
Right.
technically, every player has the ability to get it and use it. Should they be allowed to use it? I think that's when it becomes: can it enhance your performance? And I do think something like that can give you that tackiness that you might need, gives you it enhances your performance. Everybody can do it, but should they be allowed to do it?
And I agree with you. And it is an enhancement of some sort. And it is an advantage that everybody has the capability of advancing themselves. I can't say that I agree with it. I don't think they should be able to use it, but at this level, and the fact that disc golf is just now becoming more mainstream than it has in the past 20 years, or I guess what, almost 30 years now, or if it ain't already 30 years.
Mhm.
I think the more it becomes mainstream and the more it becomes, I hate to say it, but like a money sport, where
Yep.
there's more companies involved, there's bigger contracts, so on and so on. I think you'll see the rules will start to change, or at least they should take more of a professional stance in their ruling
Yep.
and their policing of the players. So I can't say I necessarily agree with it. I mean, if you and I were out there playing, here locally, and you wanted to use it, I'd be like, yeah, let me try it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're not in any kind of competitions or tournaments or any of that nonsense. We just try to beat ourselves. So, yeah, I can't say I agree with the fact that they should be allowed to use it. I can see the argument on both sides. So, I don't know.
I mean, I
I'm
just
glad I'm not in that position.
I just think when you're in competition, it should be you, the disc, the course.
I
It
think it
should
should be
be
a natural.
you. It's you, the
Right,
disc, and what can I buy to help me with me, the disc, and the course?
right.
I'll tell you one thing that I think should not be allowed on the disc golf course. That's the carts. You know those little wheel carts? I think you should, in tournament action, I really do think they should. To me, that's part of the sport, is carrying your crap or having a caddy do it. Even though I would actually almost prefer the players have to carry everything themselves.
Yeah, the weight of the bag on their shoulders.
Yeah, because I'm like after 3 or 4 rounds, or in like one of the bigger majors that had like 5 rounds, it's like, that little bit of carrying your stuff the whole time
could change a
lot.
Adds to
the grind. It adds to the grind.
Right. But then you look at other sports, like you look at the PGA or the LPGA. I mean, they have caddies. They're walking.
Yeah.
But somebody's carrying their product for them, carrying their stuff. So can you consider that a enhancement, that they have a caddy carrying the weight for them?
Well, I mean, to me, I think it should be one way or the other, because on the PGA Tour, I mean, you're calling it disc golf. You don't see anybody out there with a walking cart during the tournaments.
You're right. You're correct.
So, maybe maybe if you have a caddy, you can get a caddy if you want it. That's on you. But one, it's not going to be.
I don't know. I mean, that'd be hard to say. I mean,
yes, I do.
Like I said, I think once it becomes more mainstream and it becomes more of a household event, and the networks pick it up, and it gets bigger than what it is, because it's got potential to get huge.
Oh, I totally agree.
And it's on its way. I think the bigger it gets, the more you're going to see it sanctioned, and the more you're going to see rule change, and you're going to see. I think you're going to find out it's going to get restricted. You're going to have to restrict it.
I can compare that to, I mean, not a 1-to-1 comparison, but the UFC.
Yeah.
Before they really got big, they had to change a lot of what they were doing. They had to create weight classes. Then they had to make them have rounds.
Right.
Not go until one person can't compete anymore, type of thing.
Right.
So when they first started, it was 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to get rid of that, but to make it better. And I do think there are rules I think will be put in. I think there's some rules that might be taken out.
No,
and I think and overall, and I think it's going to be basically the same with very little that's noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there'll be a few little things. And I
think as it grows, it's going to have to grow with it. The sport is going to have to grow with itself, and by that I mean it's going to have to grow. It's going to have to grow within its discipline, and its rule book, and different scenarios. And but in order to make it a professional, mainstream household sport, it has to go through that disciplinary stage.
Yeah.
To make it a professional thing.
And I hope that the top players are the ones that really gets the most input on it.
I hope so, because they're the ones who brought it up.
Yeah.
They're the ones who have gotten it this far, and they're the ones who I think deserve the at least the question of, hey, should we do this, or hey, this is what we're thinking, what's your input, or vice versa.
Yeah, I don't think they should be get the final word on it, but I think they should have a major input on
major input. You're directly right. Yes.
Because I know a lot of them, they really don't like playing on golf courses, and I really do think it's with growth. I really do think you need courses that are open.
I think so. I think you need a mixture.
Yeah.
Whether it be man-made obstacles or whether it be natural obstacles, to make it more of a technical, thing. You don't go to any golf course in this world that all 18 holes are not just straight.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. There's dog legs, right, left, bunkers, water, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Island greens, moats, whatever. They try to make it as hard and technical as they can, but also taking in perspective of how this sport works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and with the disc golf sport, I can see the advantage of playing on a golf course if you're just playing down the side of the fairways or ever how they set them up.
Yeah.
But I think it needs more technical interference, whether, like I said, it be man-made, natural-made, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So I think it needs that, those like 1,200-foot holes. But if you only have, par threes, 600 feet, par
Mm-hmm.
fours, 900 feet, par fives, 1,400 feet, you're right off the bat. I mean, and it's wide open on everything. You're basically saying, I want people that can just throw a long ways to win every time.
Yeah, I mean, if you get somebody who can drive 400 or 500 feet at a time,
Yeah.
I mean, a 1,200-foot hole is, birdie to them compared to someone who can only drive 280 feet.
Yeah.
It's automatic bogey for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you need the technicality of the course needs to be to where somebody can get out here and throw 500 feet every time and have the advantage over someone else who might not have that arm strength or that core balance or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you set it up technical, it can't be too technical for the small guy, but it needs to be technical enough for the big guy.
Right.
So it would have to be a happy medium, and I think a mixture is what you're looking at. You mixture from open to close, open to close.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see in 5 years where things are. And
Yeah.
I one thing I do worry about is this growth spurt just pandemic related, where people couldn't go out and do a lot of other things. They're just able to go out and do this one thing.
It's possible. It's possible that it started the growth, but I think I don't think you're going to see 100% of the people that picked it up stick with it. But I think you could probably find a good medium of, say, I'm conservative 47%. Of the people that picked it up may stick with it and actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It became family time. It became exercise. It became friendly competition. It was cheap. It didn't cost nothing to play. It gets me out the house. It gets the kids out the house, whatever the case may be. It's time for me and the wife. It's time that me and the wife can just go walk together and, we both enjoy it, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So I think it's possible the pandemic sparked the growth, but I don't think it's going to end with the pandemic. I think it'll continue to grow. It's definitely gotten highlighted higher than it's ever been.
Yeah.
People are actually paying attention to it.
And I will say this, I think in 5 years, you're going to have some of the younger people, 5 to 10 years, some of the younger people that started playing during this are going to be up there on that pro tour, and they're going to have some serious game.
Yeah, well, if you really want to sit here and think about it, you think about pro ball or golf or football or basketball, whatever. You have to be, first of all, you've got to be able to stand out amongst any of your peers to be noticed. And I still firmly believe that if you're in certain locations of the United States or wherever you may be at, it's still a potential that you'll never get saw. You'll never be seen.
Yep.
So, and it doesn't really make a difference. And this is why I can't watch. I cannot support spectator sports. That's why I don't watch baseball, basketball, football. I don't support any of it. It's for the simple fact that I know there's a kid over here in my neighborhood is just as good as they are, but he doesn't have the chance to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem I have with that. But we can go over that another day in private. But as far as disc golf goes, I mean, this is something that there's local tournaments and there's sanctioned tournaments and A tiers and B tiers and all this other stuff that you and I can go sign up for. I mean, we're almost 50 years old and we could easily go sign up for it and we could work our way up the ranks, so I think it's great for these kids that are getting into it or have been into it or going to get into it to have the ability to go, down the road and play a course in a sanctioned tournament and not have to worry about it. It's the scout in the bleachers. It's the scout, calling the school. Do my grades matter? What the scout, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That kind of thing. It gives them the potential to make a life changing sport, a life changing event in their life without having to be in the right place at the right time.
Totally agree.
That's my opinion.
That's good. That's good. That's real good. Hey, I totally agree with that. One last thing, because I think we've beaten those two dead horses.
Yeah.
The last thing is the MVP Open is this week at Maple Hill. It's one of the more I'm going to say iconic, but it's one of the better courses out there that's been around a while, and it seems to be very prestigious, even though it may not be considered a major, but it's very prestigious tournament. And the course, it's one of the courses that I first started watching, and I was like, wow, this course is great. So, and something I didn't realize is Paige Pierce. She said she's entered it 7 times and won 6.
Wow.
Is anyone going to beat her?
That'd be hard to. I don't think I'd bet against her.
I would definitely not bet against her.
Because that's some odds for you right there.
Mhm. To me, when she is motivated and she had a rest week, like there's no way I'd bet against her. And I will say this. I will say this. If the Europeans were here, would I bet against her then? I don't think I would. Not on a course where she's won 6 out of 7 years and she's motivated and feeling good.
Yeah, I still don't think I'd go against her. I wouldn't bet against her, that's for sure.
Mhm.
I would like to think that somebody is capable of it, which I'm sure they're all capable of it. I
Yeah.
would like to think that somebody, not that I would ever wish on her losing, but I
Right.
would like to see someone be able to accomplish that for themselves.
Yeah. And my thing is, I don't want to see someone lose. I want to see someone win.
Yeah.
And that's not saying, I'm not and I've said this before, I'm not a big fan of Nico LaCastro.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this past week in a tournament, he wasn't playing really well that first round, but he was not losing his mind. What is this? What is that?
Hey, Jason.
What is
What's
up?
up?
Did you just wake up?
No, I've been awake. I just got back to the house.
The missus got home and drug him out and took him for a walk.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Let him out the cage.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you all right? Are you falling on the floor?
No, I'm trying to turn a light on.
Your light switches are on top of the lights, not on the floor.
What, are you plugging it in?
Yeah, I gotta plug it in first.
Wow,
There you
he is really in energy conservation mode.
Yeah, where you got one plug in the house, you share it.
Yeah, share it with everything.
Like, can you turn off the TV? I'm using the blender.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Daryl. I mean, I couldn't go against Paige. I mean, I don't wish bad on anybody, but when you're right though, when she's rested up and she's focused and determined, she's a force. I'm gonna tell you what. And Paul is too, and well, any of them when they're in the right mindset, and this goes back to previous conversations we had. That focus, that drive, and that mindset, that's what wins. But it's any given Sunday.
My thought is on the men's side, I feel like you have 5 to 10 people that can win every week. And on the women's side, I feel like there's 3 or 4 that can win every week.
Maybe 4, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jason, what do you think? Is Paige going to win this week? And here's the stat. She's won 6 of the 7 times she's played at Maple Hill.
I don't know because it seems like this year everybody's fallen to things that they've been successful at to open the door for other people. So that's why I would say she would be at a disadvantage because she does have the experience there, based on what other tournaments have been showing.
Okay.
Oh.
I can see that. Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Jason dropped the bomb saying anyone but Paige.
Just
Yeah.
All right.
see
Okay,
how much
Jason.
she can handle the pressure.
Man, is there an earthquake over there now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called getting comfortable in the recliner is what it's called.
Who do you know any of the other women that play weekly, Jason?
Not really. I haven't watched the women's side as much as the men's.
I love watching the women's side because even though they're still throwing 350, 400 to 450, I feel like I'm closer to what they can do. even though they're still throwing twice as far as me, I feel like I'm a little bit closer.
I'm getting there. So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Then there's a chance.
Yeah.
All right. On the men's side, who do you guys think may win? All the big names are in the tournament, I believe.
Who's on the lead card?
Well, I mean, they haven't even started yet.
They haven't started yet. Okay.
Yeah, first round is tomorrow morning.
I don't know. I mean, you think was it Conrad?
Hmm.
You think he's got another ace in him?
I think he makes more aces than anybody. I mean, at that tournament where he made that big shot, 2 rounds earlier, he aced 16.
Yeah, yeah. He's just got such a smooth.
Reminded me of what's his name? Hemis. What is his name? Where's my man at? Adam Hammis. Did
Hammis,
you see that ace he made this past week?
I didn't see that.
No one even come close to this hole, and it goes out there. Then it kind of turns to left, but it's so many trees, and he threaded the needle.
Really?
And after he shot it, you know, they're going back and they can't even see it. And
is that the one that banked left? It was a left-hand turn, like a dog leg left, and there was a blind basket, and he threw it. I mean, yeah, that was a throw.
Yeah, and he didn't even know it went in. They had somebody like on a mic on a what's that thing called? Walkie-talkie. They told to somebody at the tee box, is like, that's an ace. He's like, an ace? All right.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's how I get on my aces. I never know about it.
Yeah, I've never had one, so I wouldn't know about it if I did. So
I came close that one time.
I seen it. I was there.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Yep.
All right. Who do you guys think is going to win this week? Because I'm going. I always want to pick Paul every week. Not to be mean, but I'm kind of going against Eagle. It's not a disrespect thing.
Give me Conrad.
I'll
take Conrad. I think he's got it in him.
I think I'm going Calvin Heimberg.
Okay.
Heimberg. Jason, who you picking this weekend?
Well, like you said, I'm always going for Paul too, but I don't know how's Brody been doing. Is he even getting close up there? Because I mean, it seems like he's improving constantly.
Well, he's had COVID and he hasn't played for a while.
Right.
Yeah, Brody, he hasn't been playing.
Yeah, I forgot about the COVID. So,
excuse me, that global pandemic thing.
How the hell you forget about COVID? It's in everything you read, see, hear. I mean,
well, I forgot he had it. So.
You forgot Brody had it. Okay, all right.
I don't know. The Eagles been playing good, but so has Is Ricky Wasaki playing in this tournament?
Yep.
Yeah, he should be in it.
I mean,
Yep.
he's been doing good too. So I would say either one of those, maybe.
I was gonna take Ricky before I did Conrad, but I think I'm gonna stick with Conrad.
There is a person named Shasta Chris.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have never heard of Shasta Chris.
I remember
I
the
wonder
Dream
if-
Shot.
If he's playing this week, I don't see Brody. He must still be out.
He might still be out quarantining.
Well, it's been long enough for him to get back.
Did you have to qualify for this tournament?
Not that I know of. I know he was in the top 30 before he missed a couple weeks.
All right, I'm gonna take Conrad by 2 strokes.
Great. Dang, he just went and got specific on us.
And out of the 3 of us, well, I can't see whoever loses because all 3 of us could possibly lose.
Who's the closest? There you go.
All right, look, yeah, out of the 3 of us, whoever's the furthest away buys lunch.
Derek. Conrad by 2. Me, I'm taking Heimberg. Because Calvin's good, but he's not someone that really pulls away. Because 2 feels right to me. So I just feel like that top group is going to be kind of close together, kind of down the stretch. Because this past week, or maybe it might have been the week before that, there was something like 5 or 6 people that could have won on the last 3 cards. It was incredible.
Yeah, I think the most you're going to see is a 1 to 3.
I'm going by 3 on this.
Yeah. All right, I got 2. Jason, did you take Ricky? Who'd you take?
I'll take Ricky Wasaki by I was gonna say 3.
Okay.
All right.
I cannot believe no one picked Paul.
I like Paul. Don't get me wrong, I like Paul, but I'm an underdog person.
Mhm.
You know, I have all the respect in the world for Paul Macbeth. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about him whatsoever.
Yep.
But I think sometimes there's you changing of the guard, you know,
Mm-hmm.
keep things mixed up, keep things flowing. Because when Paul has a bad day, he has a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, but when he has a good day, he has a good day.
Yeah.
To me,
he's a guy that he has had an 18 under round.
To me, he's like a Mercedes. When it's running, it's running. But when it's broke, it's broke. you know what I'm saying?
All right. And I'm taking Page by 8 strokes.
Good night, son. Really?
I mean, the closest to her is Kat.
Yeah, is that Katrina's in it, right?
Allen, and I just don't. I mean, as much as I like her, I love watching her play.
But I don't think Paige is going to take her by 8. I'll take.
You are more than welcome to pick different.
I'll take Katrina by 3.
And Jason, I'm not going to put it on you because you don't know the women as well. So I'll let you pass on that.
Is Tartar playing?
Was that Kona Star Panis?
No,
who did you say?
What was it? The one you like, Tartar or what? I can't even say her name.
No. She's back in Europe.
She went back in Europe.
Yeah.
To Europe.
You say Kat by 3?
Yeah.
Wow. Even though Kat last week, Paige wasn't there, but Kat was playing really, really well that last round. So.
And Paige is a lot like Paul too. Now, when she's on fire, she's on fire. But when she's not, she's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her fumble before. I mean, it upsets her. She takes it personal.
Wait a minute. Is Ella in this tournament?
I don't know. Is she?
Let's see. Ella. Let's see. Haley King. Oh, she's coming back this week.
Haley, she's a contender.
Missy Gannon has been playing really well lately.
Yeah, you're exactly
Sarah
right.
Holcomb, I lovingly call her the queen of the forehand because she has a great forehand. Jessica Weiss, Lisa Fakis is going to be in this one.
Okay.
Juliana Corver, Kona Star Pandas. It's a good field. Madison Walker, I believe she's won this year, if I'm not mistaken. Ellen Whitboom, she had a really good round this past week. Oh, my dark horse pick is Rebecca Cox. I think she's going to finish top 10. She's really good.
Okay.
Really young. So I think she's got potential.
All right. So you still got Paige by 8, right?
I got Paige by 8.
All right. I got Katrina by 3.
I mean, that like Rebecca Cox, kind of a dark horse. You know what, Jason? You could have a Macbeth. Hannah's actually playing this.
Playing.
I'm surprised she's playing, but she is playing in this one.
I don't know. That'll be interesting. Because she hasn't played much.
It'd be interesting to see.
I could have sworn Ella was playing. There she is, Ella Hansen. One throw, Ella. Man, I almost want to take Ella, but I know she's not going to win.
Go on, take her. Go on. Go with your gut, Daryl.
You know what? Dark horse pick. She's going to be on the final card. That's a dark horse pick. She's going to be on the final card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haley King's playing?
Yeah, Haley's playing.
All right, give me Haley on the card.
Wow.
She'll be on
the third best player in the world for your dark horse pick.
She'll be on the final. Katrina by 3 is going to eat your Paige and your Ella.
There you go.
Now,
I got to write this down.
The closest one wins. The loser buys lunch.
All right. I mean, Jason's already 2 down because he has none of the women.
Oh, Jason ain't in the women part.
He's in trouble.
Take Missy Gannon as a dark horse if she's playing.
Oh.
I'm writing down Gannon on the final card for you.
Okay.
And I had one throw Ella. But I love watching Ella throw.
Should we open a disc golf bookie?
We should. We should do that. We should do that. That would be fun. I will say this. I don't know how. What was that beanbag game? Cornhole. Yeah. How is cornhole an ESPN event, but disc golf is not?
Yeah, that thing got huge quick.
Yeah.
Huge, real quick, and that's actually based off an old game called pitching quarters. When you actually took coffee cans and put them in the ground.
Yep.
That's an old game. That's actually, I believe, where cornhole came from, or the thought process of it, anyway. Because I remember doing that with my grandfather, pitching washers. They called it pitching washers as well.
Yeah. Because when I was at Charlotte at a race one time, they had it was like a small board, and they had washers, and you tried to throw it into a little hole.
Yeah.
On the board, because instead of having a cornhole.
Beanbag, right?
Yeah, instead of beanbags. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I was no good at that.
All right, fellas, we're gonna do this again next week.
Next week we will be on, and Robbie C. Disc Golf will be joining us. I've got a bunch of questions I want to ask him because his videos are so good.
They are. And he's so charismatic too. The way he speaks and teaches, he's an amazing teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's very interesting. I've watched him for a long time, ever since I came upon him on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And he's got quite the following. He's pretty amazing at what he does, and he makes sense when he tells you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, he kind of breaks it. I don't want to say dumb it down, but it's at least where I can understand it. Let's put it that way.
I mean, if I can understand it, it's dumbed down about as far as it's going.
Yeah, come on now. We went to
He
the
dumbed
same
it down
school.
to the genius level.
We went to the same school, man. I'm trying to feel good about myself.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And the reason I actually invited him on, because at the end of almost every one of his videos, he always talks about wanting to help people to get better in the game.
Right.
And that to me is my kind of person.
Oh, absolutely.
He wants to reach out to others and help them.
Absolutely.
So Jason, you gonna make it next week?
Yep. Yeah, I should be able to.
He's like, I'm gonna make it precisely 58 minutes into the podcast.
Exactly.
Do we need to write?
7
Do we need to write you a permission slip and get Shannon to sign it for us, or what?
minutes.
We'll get her on here.
I'll
We'll
bring
get,
you one next time I see you. I expect to have it back signed.
Okay.
Before next Thursday. All right.
and in what is it, 2 weeks? The Battle of Bedford.
Yes. Yes.
Derek, you gonna be able to go?
What are the dates for that again? Tell me again.
17th through the 19th, I believe.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I'm out of town that week or not. I think I'm out. I think I'm in Florida that week, to be honest with you. I'll have to check and see, but I want to say I'm in Florida, or at least getting ready to go to Florida anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to play some down there, at least around Melbourne area. Anyway, I played there before several times.
If you do, send some pictures so we can post some.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but palm meadows, but yeah, I'll send them to you.
Hey, dude, a nice picture of a basket somewhere, that's always good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
I'll send them.
Jason, you think you'll be able to make it?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna be working every day except for one of them. So we'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. We done lost him. Yeah, he's the one hosting this thing. Ain't that something?
I know.
He done kicked himself out the show.
Where'd you go?
And now we can't hear him.
That makes you better, actually.
Yeah, it goes better, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we really can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Daryl. Speak up. Turn your microphone on.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
It might cut right back out because for some reason it does that. But as far as I know, me and Todd, we plan on going. I kind of hope to have both you guys there.
Yeah, if I'm here, I definitely at least want to try to make it out there. I need to go look at my work schedule and look at my trip schedule too. So I need to see what's up.
The thing is, I don't know where you can go at New London Tech and get good views of everybody. So that'll be interesting in of itself.
You're going to have to be behind them, that's for sure, because there's nowhere to stand beside or in front of. Because that course is tight and long.
I got hit in the face with a Brody Smith disc. Woo!
All right, fellas, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Derek, thanks for being on. Jason, thanks for making your on-cam debut on the world-renowned Simply Incredible podcast. That's all we got, you guys.